Okay, we're going to do 16.3 here. Before we begin, a lot of this has to do with using our calculator. So one of the things I would do is go ahead and copy this down. This is kind of a brief cheat sheet, so you might want to pause the video for a minute and copy all this on either in your book or on a separate sheet of paper. Okay, so I'm going to move on. So it's using regression models, and like I said, we're going to be using the calculator here for a lot of this. So again, you can kind of look at the examples and go through those. We're going to go straight to the year term problems as usual. Okay, these are still not bad problems to do. Fill in the blank after you've figured out what to do here. So it gives you some keys here, even within the lesson, of things to look for in terms of the calculator. And what you can do within the context of it. All right, so here's one, and we are going to do problem number 8. So a couple of things to note. Whenever you're doing a problem that involves years, okay, it says years since 1900. When you do that 0 term, that is year 1900, okay? So this would be year 1910 because you add 10 years to that. So make sure you understand that. You never input years into a problem itself. So what we're going to do, first thing I'm going to do is reset my calculator. It's not a bad idea to do that. Also, you want to go ahead and turn your stat diagnostic on. Sometimes you'll need it, sometimes you won't, but this is, you know, if it's looking for your regression coefficient, then you need to find your R. Okay. So anyway, let's go ahead and put in our data. So after I turn my stat diagnostic on, I go to stat. Number 1, edit, press enter, and then I just start typing these in. So I'm going to type all of these values in for L1. So I got 0, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. No, you just listen to me talk to myself as I type this in. And 100, okay? Then I go over to L2 and I type all these in for L2. Make sure they correspond to the correct L1. So one thing you want to do after you get everything typed in is just double check, make sure your L1 and L2 end at the same value. So in this case, I've got 11 entry points and 5,131 ended at 100. And then double check your values that you've typed them in correctly. And we've done regressions before and we talked about if you type it in wrong, it's going to mess up all your answer. Okay. So it says create a model from the table of values and answer the questions. So we're going to use this to make a prediction. So the next thing I have to do is actually find a regression model. So going back to your cheat sheet, what you want to do here is you want to go to Stat button, go over to Calculate, but we are going down to number 10, which is exponential regression. You press Enter. We're using L1, L2. Press Calculate. And then it gives us our values. So it's doing the equation in y equals a times b to the x form. So in this case, my a is, I'm going to round here, 135.88 times my b, which is 1.037 to the x. So again, that's rounded. We'll talk about how to put it in the calculator. Make sure your answer makes sense. Remember, our b has to be something greater than 1 if all of our values are increasing, and they are increasing. This is not a linear regression because obviously these are jumping in values quite a bit. Okay, now we want to take that equation and we want to put it in y equals. So we go to y equals, then we go to vars, and we go over, sorry, not vars, y equals, then, sorry, that is right, vars, go down to number 5, statistics, then right arrow over twice to EQ regression equation, press enter, and that should copy your equation into Y1. Then what we want to do is we want to use our equation in our table to make a prediction. So it says use the model to predict the census results from 2010. Now where would 2010 be? Okay, we started at 1900. If we added 100, that means this is year 2000. Okay, and so 2010 would be 110. So I go to my table, and I'm going to go to table set, and I'm going to just start at 110, and then go to my table and look, and my value is 7,614.62. Okay, that's at 110. Now, it doesn't really make a whole lot of sense as compared to what actually occurred, but you got to remember, we're looking at this problem in thousands, okay? So what that means is my answer, so I'm going to put one more decimal place here, so 1. My answer, I actually have to move 3 decimal places, tens, hundreds, thousands. So what that means is my answer is actually 7,614,621 people as compared to the actual amount, which was this. So our prediction is quite a bit higher than what the actual population was. So again, these are just regression models are used to make predictions, not actually give us the real values all the time. So hopefully you were able to kind of follow that. Again, you're going to need your cheat sheet to help you do the regression. I'm also going to give you a separate video for a particular problem in the homework where I kind of walk you through the steps of the calculator again to kind of help you.